I just had a very special guest on my radio show this evening, Samantha Cousins. She's a food blogger and recipe developer. Her Instagram name is @spoonfulofhappyblog. Her recipes are all very healthy, really easy to make. They are to die for. Check them out, follow her stuff, and I hope you all feel inspired and you really enjoyed my show. I will see you next week, hopefully with a new guest. Yeah.
The Pulse Hospital Radio.
Hello, and if you have just tuned in, this is my show, Groove With Me. I do have a very, very special guest with me in the studio. I have food blogger and recipe developer, Samantha Cousins. Hello.
For having me.
Oh my goodness, I am so excited that you are here. Thank you very much for being here, first of all. So, people are probably wondering, right, food blogger, recipe developer, tell us. Okay, so let's start right from the beginning. So how did you start blogging, basically?
So it kind of came from a love of food at uni. So about second year I really started to cook for myself. I really enjoyed it, bought lots of cookbooks, kind of experimental bits and pieces. And then I went away for a summer and was an au pair and had to cook loads of meals for them. It had to be reasonably healthy, so I kind of got into that. And
so that's basically where... Did you know how to cook before?
So I'd watched my mum in the kitchen and helped out a little bit. But I'd never really cooked proper meals day after day after day for myself until I went to uni. And then obviously looking after small children, it's very different. Like they don't like certain things, you have to hide carrots and things like that.
Yeah.
But then when I was there, the mum of the family said, you should be sharing these recipes, write them down and get them out somewhere. And I've never been very good with social media or anything like that, so it was a bit daunting. But I did it.
And so that's where it all began.
Yeah, first recipe was posted in the south of France.
Wow. Back when? How long ago was that roughly?
So that was the summer after uni, so 2016 summer.
And what is the name of your blogs?
It's called Spoonful of Happy.
Spoonful of Happy blog. And you also have an Instagram, don't you? Tell us a little bit about your Instagram as well, because I feel like if people are interested in seeing what you do, where your recipes are, both your website and your Instagram are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I follow you, I get my inspiration from you. I mean, it's great. So
that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your Instagram as well.
Okay, so Instagram is Spoonful of Happy blog.
Yeah.
I wanted Spoonful of Happy, but someone has it, so I'm trying to buy it off.
God.
But yeah, I tend to share 2 recipes a week and a lifestyle post if I can, and it's all shared by Instagram. And then day to day I just share little pictures of what I'm eating or what I'm buying and things I like and stuff like that. And I do lots of Instagram stories as well, where I just basically make a fool of myself.
Okay, so you said of what you buy, so the stuff that you buy for your recipes, where do you even get your inspiration from?
Okay, so the stuff I buy at the moment, for me, it's quite important to get really good quality meat, dairy and fish. It's quite a new thing for me. So at the moment, I get that from Able & Co, so they deliver it. And that's really, really good.
Who are they?
They're like a delivery service, so they give delivery boxes of organic meat and fish and veg and everything.
Yeah.
But it's more expensive than just kind of buying at the shop, so it's not necessarily for everybody, but for me it was just something I really wanted to do. And then to balance it out, I buy everything else at Lidl because it's cheap.
Lidl is good, actually.
Lidl is brilliant. I love Lidl.
Have you tried Aldi? It's like
Lidl
Aldi,
and Aldi.
Aldi and Lidl, the ones to go to.
Yeah, it was Aldi at uni and now Lidl in London, so
okay.
Whichever.
And the meats and the fishes that you buy, do you think it makes a massive difference to flavour, or do you think it kind of...
No, I don't think it's that important. It makes a difference to flavour, but it's not that important, I don't think. If you're trying to be healthy and it's part of your diet, then just get what you can afford and do your best with what you've got. I don't think you have to fork out loads of money
definitely
to buy all the expensive stuff.
Definitely. So there's so much conflicting information about how to be healthy, what is healthy, what for you, what is healthy?
So I don't really follow any set rules or set diets or anything like that. I always say it's a balance of healthiness and happiness. So I like to
1,000%
eat really good food that tends to be wholesome and natural and kind of cooked at home, but also I love a packet of chocolate digestives every now and then. You've got to enjoy your food, and
definitely.
I think if you cut things out and limit your diet, you'll just be miserable and you'll end up craving them more. So it's a nice little balance of things.
Yeah, but you make some serious mouth-watering dishes that
That's
I'm
good. They should be appealing.
But the little so for example, what's some of the sweet stuff that you make? Take us through one of your favourite sweet recipes.
Okay, so recently it's been my 3-ingredient banana breakfast bars, which are sweet, so they could be they're sweet enough for kind of pudding if you wanted them to be, or they're like a grab and go breakfast. It's literally oats or muesli, depending on what you like, banana and milk, and then you bake them for about 40 minutes and they turn into like healthy flapjacks, basically.
So no sugar?
No sugar.
Wait, say that again.
Oats or muesli, depending on what you like. Bananas, milk.
Ooh.
So you can make them vegan as well, because you could use any kind of milk. So you could use almond milk, oat milk, or just regular cow's milk if you're not that bothered.
Yeah.
So it could just be with anything, and you can add bits and pieces. So I've added chocolate chips and
Oh
cranberries and
yes.
stuff like that.
Oh my goodness, that sounds so good.
But yeah, I think that's my favourite at the moment. And a lady who has a 2-year-old daughter actually got in touch the other week, and she said that she loved them so much. She thanked me for the recipe and was saying that she made them with her daughter, and her daughter takes them to like nursery with her. It was so cute. Like, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, to give people recipes like that they can enjoy.
Definitely, because I think there are so many recipes out there. So many people like Jamie Oliver, like Wicks. What's that guy's name?
Joe Wicks.
Joe Wicks. I'm so bad with famous people's names. Yeah, that guy. Like, there's so much out there that it's really like, what's realistic? Yeah. When can you actually find the time to do these things? And obviously, when both of us, I think, when you when you go through your Instagram feed and you're like, oh my god, that is food goals.
Yeah.
That's like what I see with your food. So it's so good to have you on here, and stuff like those breakfast recipes. You kind of, me personally, I think I don't have the time for that. Yeah. So for example, the breakfast bars. Yeah. How long does that take?
So, I mean, you could do it. I like to say 3 ingredients, 3 minutes prep. If you were speeding,
3 minutes?
Like, honestly, you could
crazy.
Whack bananas in a bowl, mush them up, add some oats, milk, done. They bake, then you have to bake them, but you can do other things while you bake.
Oh, and it's a good thing for breakfast as well, because obviously, like, oats and banana is a very good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you've got
slow
me
release.
thinking. Slow release, honey. Okay, and then what about something you've been making for lunch, like lunch recipes?
So I do a lunchbox recipe post every week. So people always say to me, I need like really quick, simple kind of 5-ingredient lunchbox ideas that I can take to work, so I don't have to spend all the money on a sandwich or whatever. So yeah, every Tuesday is a lunchbox post, and I start them vegan and then suggest like optional add-ons so that everyone's covered, because I feel like the more people that can benefit from it, the better. So for example, like really simple things like a little courgette and couscous salad with some greens and a nice lemony dressing, and then so that's vegan to start with. You could add some like feta cheese or mozzarella or something to it if you're veggie, or then you could add grilled chicken if you eat meat or whatever. So yeah, I try and kind of cater to everybody.
And would you ever go vegan?
I don't think so, no.
Neither. I couldn't go vegan.
I do eat a lot of plant-based meals. I do really like vegetables, and I'm quite happy to eat a meal that has no meat in it. But I also do love a roast.
Oh, yes.
Sausage and mash and onion gravy.
Definitely.
I'm moving towards having really good quality stuff. So if I am going to have meat, I'll make sure I spend more money on it and eat it less often, and it's really good quality. But I don't think it's essential. Whatever works for you, I think.
And can you make it affordable? Because I know you said you buy your meat and your fish kind of from a separate place. But is it something that you feel like everyone can do, or how do you? So for example, what's your budget a week, and is that something that you take into consideration, or is it because this is your passion that you invest your money in that rather than in something else?
Yeah. So my budget, I don't have a lot at all for food. It's only 30 quid a week.
That's not that much.
Which includes everything. So I split. I get meat and fish delivered every other week, and then veggies. But I don't tend to spend that much with like Lidl and Aldi and stuff like that. The veggies are really easy to buy. So it's whether or not you want to spend that extra money on the more expensive things. But yeah, I think anybody can be healthy, even if it's going to the shops and adding a 60p broccoli to your weekly shop. Like Definitely. You've done one thing towards eating a slightly healthier diet, like looking at your plate and trying to decide if there's anything you could add to it, or take 2 chips away and add a small handful of spinach. Like whatever you can do, it doesn't have to be huge. Definitely. This has started so well. We're going to go to a quick break. Yes, I can have some water. So this is My Shape Groove with me. I'm joined by Samantha Cousins, food blogger and recipe developer. Thank you so much. Stay tuned, guys, and we'll be back after
the Pulse Hospital Radio.
We are back in the studio. We've got another 10 minutes and I'm joined by a very special guest, Samantha Cousins, with her blog Spoonful of Happy. Hello and welcome back to the show.
Hello.
So in the first half we kind of got chatting about your blog. You develop food recipes, you bake, you photograph all your own work. So let's kind of go back to that and like the process that you go through to make your blog. You know, there's a lot of people that have blogs out there, but how did you start out by making your blog in the first place?
Okay, so the website side of things and the photography, that's really hard. I didn't really think about it before I started. I just thought, I'll just share all these recipes and it'll be really easy. But I basically have a template on WordPress and it's a lot easier than it looks. It looks so much more professional.
It looks seriously professional.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, it's a lot easier than it looks. So I just kind of type up my recipe, add a few photos here and there, and the template does most of it. But the photography side of things, that's been a real learning curve. So I started I started with my iPhone and then kind of moved to like a bridge camera, and I have now just bought a proper serious
big
fat camera. I don't even know what it's called. Yeah. So that's really cool. I love experimenting with that. But it's kind of the setup more than anything else. You have to kind of place things and try things out and look at them through the camera lens and then decide whether it's working or not. So it can be quite difficult.
Because definitely with like Instagram, you know, angle, you know, this whole world is now like angles and take the best picture. How long does it take you to get a good angle of your food?
Oh, longer than I would like to admit.
How long?
I think a good shoot would probably be between just the photographing bit would be at least an hour, I'd say. Okay. But then obviously you've got to cook and add everything together and plate it all up. So it probably between 2.5 and 3 hours.
Wow.
Just for one.
And so you also have a full-time job, you know. This isn't your full-time job. So what do you do? What's your main job? Your main job? Because it kind of goes nicely hand in hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I've only just moved over. I used to work in theatre advertising, and literally 2 weeks ago I joined a small marketing agency within the health and wellness industry. They're called the HBC, and they basically create events and bring people like me together and teach them how to become a more successful blogger, how to meet the right brands, how to become like Instagram influencers and stuff like that. So I'm kind of working behind the scenes in that and learning loads on the way. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah. And do you want to be an Instagram influencer? You influence me, I'll tell you that. You're influencing me.
I think everybody influences everybody just day to day. I think it's amazing how much people can take from just like one little post or one thing you say. So I think you always have to be careful as well. But yeah, I would love for it to become a full-time job, you know, working with amazing brands and creating recipes and maybe a cookbook or cooking classes or anything like that. I would love it. Yeah. But we'll wait and see.
We will wait and see. So where do you get your inspiration from? You know, there's thousands of recipes out there. Like, where is this all coming from?
Okay, so people ask me this quite a lot. I get lots of my ideas from menus in restaurants, so I'll go and eat out quite a lot. And I'll quite often just take a picture of the menu or take one home with me if it's a little paper copy. And just
don't take the Nando's one, it's all pretty simple.
And then just take the basic idea and kind of play around with it, because obviously they don't write the ingredients on there, they don't write the measurements or anything, and there's lots of things they're not including. So I kind of take it home and play with that. And then also like mixing and matching my favourite cookbooks, because I've got so many and I cook from them loads. So I kind of take bits and pieces from one and then add another bit, almost kind of not intentionally, just they kind of come together. And having a fridge full of vegetables and not really knowing what to do with it, just chucking it in a pan and see what happens.
See, I do that, for example. You say, you know, get your vegetables together, chuck it in a pan. If I do that, I just burn everything. Like, it just doesn't work.
Sometimes it doesn't go well. Sometimes I make something and it's disgusting and I don't want to eat it. And I'll freeze it and hope that it gets better and I'll try again. I'm like, no, this is grim.
My freezer's full of so many things. I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's something I made a very long time ago.
But yeah, I do tend to I try as often as I can to work with what I've got, because I feel like you'll end up with loads of food waste if you kind of plan for loads of different recipes, whereas I'll just go for it with what's in my fridge. And also my boyfriend's a keen like foodie as well. He loves like a British classic, but he eats quite a lot of meat, so that's quite good inspiration for me, because he'll suggest a meal that he'll really like to have, and I'll come up with a creative way of adding some vegetables. So we kind of make like a little recipe together. So we've done a couple of things kind of together.
Collab.
Yeah, exactly.
Collab with your boyfriend, love it.
So we've got a spaghetti bolognese on the way.
Ooh.
So a couple of weeks' time, that one will be on the blog. And also an amazing brunch recipe, which is going up this Saturday. So both of those have been kind of made together.
Nice.
With him bringing all the meaty stuff and me just going, should we add some greens?
Yeah. So tell us, what's one of an easy meat recipe that you've done or that you love?
Oh, that's really
No,
good
the
question.
one that you've done that you'd suggest, like, oh, this is a recommendation of mine with a meat.
It depends whether you want it to be easy or not. So
Oh, there we go. Look, also, there's so many
like
things.
time, I mean. Like,
Yeah, okay.
if I had all the time in the world and you had all the time in the world and you loved cooking, then a roast lamb with like all the trimmings is one of my favourite things.
Oh, yeah.
But I also really like doing like grilled chicken in a kind of either quinoa or couscous, depending on what you like, and then loads of greens with like oil and butter and lemon and spring onion kind of dressing-y thing, and you kind of cook it all together. That's one of my favourites.
Wow.
But it just tastes really nice with the chicken.
And what's that called? Is that on your blog?
Yeah, I think it's quite a creative title. It's called Greenoir because we've got the greens and the
Love
quinoa.
it. Yes, that's great.
So it will be on there somewhere.
Okay.
And then you can also have Greenoir with the chicken.
Okay, nice. So for anyone that has literally just tuned in, and this is my show Groove With Me, and I have a very special guest tonight, Spoonful of Happy blogger and recipe developer Samantha Cousins. You've just been talking to us about absolutely everything to do with your blog, where you get your inspiration from, and so I want to ask you something.
Okay.
Did you take cooking classes?
I've had one like natural cooking class before.
Okay.
I've never done anything like online or any kind of long-term cooking class. I've just learnt from my mum and I guess from doing it myself and from cookbooks and stuff.
Definitely when you have to move out of home, like when you say you went to uni, when you worked in France, it kind of puts you in a situation where it's like, do I eat beans on toast for the rest of my life?
Exactly.
Or do I learn to cook?
Yeah.
For me, it's just I eat burnt food for the rest of my life. I mean, unless my dad.
I don't believe that. I reckon you have some really good meals.
I really don't. So let's go back a little bit to when you said about uni. Like, you said that you got quite stressed, or talk us through that basically.
Okay, so from about 16, 17, I've had really bad heartburn, which is quite an unusual thing for someone quite young to have. It's just very unusual. So I'd been struggling with that a little bit, and then when I get stressed, I feel it in my kind of throat, in my digestive system. It sounds really weird, but that's just how it manifests. And then I think with the added pressure of stuff at uni, like all of my exams and coursework and stuff like that, it was a really stressful time. So I kind of turned to food as a way of calming me down, because it's a really therapeutic process.
Definitely.
But also by doing that, my symptoms and stuff got so much better. Like the heartburn really calmed down because I was paying so much more attention to what I was eating, and in turn it got slightly healthier and less oil and less sugar and stuff like that. So it got better with time.
And it's a well-being thing. It's a way of life, really.
Absolutely.
I think what people should take away from your blog, what you write about, is it's not just trying to go on a diet and losing weight, because I don't think it is about losing weight. It's about how it makes you feel.
Yeah, being happy and healthy. That is what you want to go for. Don't feel guilty. Don't cut things out if you don't have to. Just enjoy food for what it is and learn to be really happy just with what you're eating and the way you are in your body and stuff.
Definitely, because you not only blog and you make recipes, but you also you've set yourself some goals. It's turned into more of a fitness thing as well, some yoga stuff. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I'd love to add kind of health and fitness to it. I'm aware I'm not qualified, so I don't want to give workouts and stuff like that, so it's more like a personal story of what I'm up to. But yeah, I love yoga. I think it's really good for you. It's a great way of having a little wiggle and just enjoying the morning or the evening or whenever you're doing it, and I think it goes
very
hand in
relaxing.
hand. Yeah, exactly.
Brings
hand
you
with eating.
Brings you
calms you
centers
down.
you.
Exactly. But I also am training for a half marathon at the moment, so that's
Woohoo! I'm all into that. That's great. That's really seriously great.
Thank you. And weightlifting as well, because I'm a very small person and I really like the idea of being crazy strong and someone being surprised by my strength. So I like to lift weights when I can.
Great. No, I love that, because it's a balance between everything, isn't it? I think that's what we can
and
get
just
out
doing
of
what
this.
you enjoy. If you don't like running, find something else that you love. Don't do stuff that you hate for the sake of it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. So it's been a jam-packed
I can't
half
believe
an hour.
we're
We
done.
have like 2 minutes
I know.
left. So if there's something you just want to leave our listeners with, I mean, out of everything that we've spoken about, give us something to close this all with. Obviously, they can find your Instagram page at Spoonful of Happy Blog. Your website is also available. I'm going to post that online after our little show. Yeah, so leave us with something, Samantha. Tell us kind of your closing piece.
It would, I know I've already said it, but it would definitely be the happiness side of things. Like people exercise so that they can have a slice of cake, or they eat a slice of cake and they feel really guilty afterwards, or they and ah. Just try and find a place where you can be happy with what you're eating and who you are, and honestly it'll all get so much easier. And just, enjoy a chocolate biscuit if you want one.
Oh, thank you so much. Guys, I really hope you have enjoyed my show. This is Groove With Me. My name's Claire. I have been joined by Samantha Cousins. I will see you next week at the same time, hopefully with another special guest. Have a nice one. Have a nice...
Good evening. Wishing you well. Stay tuned to the Pulse Hospital Radio.